Today's guest on the Lone Wolf podcast is award-winning actress and producer Osas Ighodaro. You've most likely seen Osas as a lead in some of your favorite Nollywood films. She's also one of the most recognizable faces on television. But beyond the beauty and the success is a story rooted in grit, self-belief, and the quiet knowing that she was made for more. Osas didn't stumble into this life. She studied for it. From broadcast journalism to theater to earning an MFA in acting, she built her career with intention, discipline, and an unshakable belief in the craft. This episode is really about creative confidence, about answering your call, going after what you want, and refusing to take no for an answer. I loved listening to Osas, and I truly believe there's something in this conversation for everyone. Enjoy. I found that a lot of people see successful creatives and they admire their journey, they admire the success that they have at that moment, but they fail to look at the more quiet moments, the things that made them who they are, and the rough, sometimes windy journey that they had to take to get there. I think as lone wolves, we really have to honor where we started from and how we got to where we are at that time. But what I found the most important value that a lone wolf can have is something that this guest of mine today has. When I was prepping for the episode, the word that kept coming to me was audacity. I think that you have to be audacious to move countries. You have to be audacious to go into an industry that you've never gone into before. And I really do think that Osas embodies audacity. Would you say that that's a word that resonates?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And thank you for having me, boo.
Yeah.
You people, don't mind me, because I'm just going to be giddy and laughing and stuff. I'm usually nervous, but, for podcasts and for stuff like
I've
this.
told her this is not one of those
your normal
podcasts where we're going to start.
And this is not your normal person. This is cool.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
But yes, in terms of audacity, I feel like it's in my blood. Because growing up, I've always had it and I didn't understand what that was or where it came from. I grew up in New York, and then I'm such a go-getter, whatever it was. I felt I had this crazy determination in my system. And I always did so many different things. Whether I was good at it or not, I still delved into it. And when I came back to Nigeria, I realized that go-getter mentality, that hustle, that, just do it anyway, pushing and just going for it has always been innate in me. And I didn't understand where it came from until I traveled back to Nigeria. And I saw the environment, and I saw that it's not just me, but it's the Nigerian spirit, I feel. And then also, I think I have a little bit more, or been blessed with a little bit more audacity because of my grandmother.
Right.
My paternal grandmother. She was a boss. Yeah, she was a boss. May she rest in peace. She was a boss, and I just remember being little and just seeing her own so many things, like, property and land and businesses, and she was that woman.
Right.
But I didn't grow up with her. I only found that out towards, the last parts of her life. And I'm like, wow, okay. I didn't need to be told this, but it's in my blood. It's in there. So
that's so interesting.
Yeah.
This idea of audacity being like innate and not something that you learn.
At all. I didn't understand it. I'm like, why am I so...
So fear never played a factor?
Fear is always going to be there, but it's if you allow it to, take over who you are. If you let it be the number one thing that pushes you, then you're not going to get anywhere. I think me just being here is fear, but I'm conquering it.
Yes.
You push through, you know? Yeah.
And I think that's what being a lone wolf is about. Feeling the fear, doing it anyway, going into spaces that you might not feel comfortable, but you just know in your gut that you're safe.
Yeah.
And you're going to be okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. Or you may not even know much about it, but you must do it because it's, I feel like it's part of the journey.
Right.
Yeah.
But did you always know that you were going to be a creative?
I did.
Okay.
Always knew I was going to be a creative. Ever since I was young, my parents would always say, like, there was one instance, not necessarily a creative, but yeah, a creative, pretty much. But there's this one instance where my parents were pretty much telling me to sit, just relax. I was always energetic. I always had energy, and I needed to exert it some way. And I don't know if I could find the picture, but there was a instance where they tied me to the chair to sit down and not move. But I'm up with the chair on my bum, like I'm going from one place to another. I think they may have a picture of that. I don't remember.
That sounds like ADHD.
I don't know, but I was just so energetic, and I had to bring this energy out somehow.
Right.
And I found that in terms of doing sports. I found that in when I was in daycare, we would have like an end of the year performance, and I would always go out for the singer, and and I would feel down if I didn't get it. Like my whole world is coming apart. Like I remember there was one time in middle school, we were doing a performance of, I forget, I guess it was Motown. Yes, it was Motown. And the theme was Motown, and they had auditions for the role of Tina Turner. Now, I grew up in an environment in the Bronx where it's majority Hispanic. Okay. And there were 3 to 4 other black kids in the class. And I just knew I was getting the Tina Turner part because I'm black. I'm the only black person here that could play that part. Right. And they didn't give it to me. Oh, I think I'm even still devastated about that. Like, how could you not give me the role of Tina Turner? Right. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But, I think as young as I was then, realizing that I guess in the audition process, you get some, you lose some, but you still keep going. I was one of the background dancers that Tina Turner had. Oh wow! I forget if they called them something. But yeah, I was. I still was cast at least. Right. Not least, but cast as one of the background dancers, singers for Tina Turner. But I just knew that I was supposed to be Tina Turner.
So performance has always been something that, right. And so how did you, because I know you did an MFA in acting. I got my master's in acting. Wow. And who does that?
If your parents are like, okay, you need to go and get your master's in something, that was the only way that it was going to work. Right. I had to.
Was there pushback?
There was a pushback, yes. When I graduated with my bachelor's, they're like, okay, so what are you going to do? My mom was pushing me, okay, try and do nursing, because I graduated with the broadcast journalism degree. So I knew that I wanted to be in front of the camera in some shape or form. And I'm like, okay, broadcast journalism is more respectable. And, I can get a degree in that, and, they would be happy about that. But I always knew that it was acting for me. And trying to figure that out, that journey of how am I going to tell my parents and them be proud of me and still maintain that support. So after I graduated with my bachelor's, I begged them, please give me a year. Let me focus and let me pursue this acting career. And it was 3 years of doing wakapas roles and trying to get into the business. And
what was that like?
I just knew that I was meant for so much more. I knew it. But, if you're constantly getting no's, I think it pushes you also to figure out if this is what you want to do. And I realized that, yes, this is what I want to do. And I always had the foresight of, I'm going to become something. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when, but I have to do it. And in order for that path to happen, I had to do the Waka Pass roles and, or the background roles is what they call it in the States. And I did that for about 2 to 3 years before I even booked something substantial in my mind.
Wow. Yeah. So you're saying like that innate knowing that you're going to make it was the thing that sustained you ultimately when you were in the wilderness.
It's what's sustaining me now. I've not made it anywhere. I've not,
Talk about it.
I've not gone anywhere. I still have a lot of work to do in terms of the business end, but I feel fulfilled in terms, and I'll continue to feel fulfilled in terms of the craft and the creative, because I feel like the things that I am a part of, the spirit has led me there. If I'm not connected to that role or that project, then it's not happening.
Right.
And so I'm grateful to be able to have that intuition of, okay, do this role. This may be great in terms of business, in terms of blockbuster, in terms of all of that, but I'm grateful to be able to allow it to serve me and serve my creative to the next step, and to the next role.
Right. I think that's so powerful.
Yeah.
Because I think like a lot of creatives, we don't necessarily listen to our spirit or our intuition. And we kind of look at the things that just make sense on paper.
Yeah.
And so you reach a stage where you're not having that fulfillment,
At
where you're
all.
not getting, the accolades are not feeding you.
Yeah.
Because they can't.
At all.
So it's so important.
I mean, I've never really spoken publicly about this, but I knew that, sometimes you get sidetracked. Sometimes you get sidetracked. And I know when I came to Nigeria, it's like, I felt like, yes, I know that I'm good in acting. I know that, I'm always learning the craft, but I feel like the people don't think that as well of me. So I need to prove that I'm a great actor.
Right.
How can I do that? So, with awards and accolades, I'm pushing and I'm fighting and I'm doing my best to make sure that I even get recognized on that kind of level to be considered a good actor. But I realized that once those things are achieved, is it serving you?
Right.
Is it serving your spirit? Is it serving your heart?
Right.
In what it is that you're passionate about. And it's cool, it's nice.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that it has made me a better creative. I'm always going to be that creative that
No matter what.
No matter what.
That's so interesting. So I have a story that I've never told you.
Hell. Lone wolf.
No,
Yeah.
No, so it just came to me now. So Osas was in a movie that I wrote called Rattlesnake. The Hannah story.
My favorite.
And when I wrote the character for Amara, so Rattlesnake is a remake.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Of the original Amaka Igwe story. And it was initially, I think, 5 guys.
Yeah.
And we wanted there to be a woman in the mix, right? So it's not 5 guys again. So we made one of the guys a girl. And so when I created the character Amara, she was actually initially not supposed to be like part of the guys. She was kind of like, she was a supporting character. So she was the sister of, which she still was. But she was significantly young. The way I wrote her, she was like 22. So in my mind...
I'm 22. You better not say otherwise.
Sure, sir. So in my mind, like, this was a Gen Z character, right?
You.
And so when your name came up, I was like, no, like, it's not Osas.
Hold on, Nicole. When she sticks to her guns, it takes a lot to change her mind.
So, well, I didn't really have any skin in the game because I had no money in the game. That's what you find. Like, when you don't contribute money,
Then,
your opinion, So I was like, no, it's not. Because, Amara's a child, right? She's this spunky, young character. And to me, you embodied grown woman. Like, you're like this buxom beauty, right? So, and I had only interacted with you online, right? I didn't know you personally at that point. So online, and from what I had seen, you were just this like bombshell. So it's like you're trying to cast Zoe Kravitz and they say bring J-Lo, and I'm like, no, it's not J-Lo. It's
I love the analogy.
So I was very like adamant, you know? And so get on a 3-way call. It was myself, Charles, and Chris.
Whoa.
And I was like, I don't think it's Osas, right? It's, it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't, And Charles is like, who is better than Osas?
Hell.
Who is better than Osas? No, tell me. And he's so angry. And Charles doesn't really get angry. He's such a chill, cool guy, But this one,
oh my God.
Who's better than Osas? No, tell me. And I'm like, I don't know.
God, my guy.
I don't know who is better than Osas, but I know that, she just isn't this character that I've written, right? Yeah. And then I'm not on set, right? I didn't even live in Nigeria at the point. I lived in Dubai. I didn't even live there. Yeah. So
and it was COVID.
Yeah, exactly. So I wasn't there. They shot the film, and then I came for the premiere. So that was the first time I watched it, right? And I watched it, and I was like, in my head, I was like, oh my God, she's Amara. Yeah. Like the whole time.
That's already started.
No. You had, and it stretched my limited thinking in what I thought casting should be. Or what I thought somebody could represent in a role. Yeah. Because I thought, because I wrote this for a particular demographic, therefore it had to be this kind of person. Whereas, I didn't take into account the craft. Yeah. And if somebody has this craft and this MFA in acting.
I'm still learning though, every day.
Talent. Then they can portray and add to it, right? But I think even beyond craft and beyond everything, I think it's the sincerity that you took to the role. There was an authenticity. Yeah. And I think that's how you navigate through different scenarios. And I think people that watch you or people that encounter you, I think that's why they advocate for you.
Wow.
Right?
I don't even know why they advocate. Sometimes I feel like imposter syndrome a bit. And then I feel like, because I'm grateful because I feel like I have God's grace in my life. Yeah. Some things that happen, I'm just like, it's not me. It's God's grace. So whenever I hear things like that, people like you, I'm just like, we thank God. Yeah. We thank God. Yeah.
But it's a good thing to be that way, right? Because if you're like, I'm so loved.
No.
I know I'm great, They will also be like, But I think at the end of the day, it's even good to hear that somebody like you deals with imposter syndrome. Yeah. Because, we just assume that, you reach a certain level and this person has made it and this person is fine. But they don't know the battles, the mental struggles. Like my trainer, I have this new trainer who's amazing, right? And the way he became my trainer is I heard him talking in a friend's house. And he wasn't even speaking to me, but I just ended up listening. Yeah. And he was saying how he lost 200 pounds. Wow. Even when he had an ankle injury. And he had this ankle injury until he had gained all this weight. And then one day he was like, I'm too big. I don't want to have a heart attack. Yeah. I'm going to start moving. So he said he was going to start jogging. And so he came out of his house and he starts jogging. And then the first voice in his head is like, what are you doing? This is ridiculous. Yeah. The second voice is like, there's an IHOP down the street. IHOP is a place where you get pancakes and breakfast. And there's an IHOP. You can jog to the IHOP. And there was another person saying, you look so stupid. You're so fat. Yeah. And he realized he had over 8 voices that would show up when he was jogging in his head. Wow. And there was one voice, smaller, less loud, and that voice was, you can do it, keep going. You can do it, keep going. And that he decided to listen to that voice. And now, when he's running, he's ripped. You can't even believe this guy is 200 pounds. Wow. But now when he's running, he says that small voice is now, let's do 10 more K. Hey! Let's go. Let's go. And that's the only voice in his head. And I just found that so fascinating because it's as people who live in our heads, right? Especially for creatives, right? We have all these voices. So I'm starting to pay attention. Yeah. What voices do I have when I'm about to write? Right? What voices do I have? Oh, there's one voice that's like, oh my God, you're so busy. You're so busy. You can't do that. You can't do that.
kidding
Yeah.
me?
There's another voice that says, "Oh gosh, just lie down, just relax, just watch Real Housewives. Like, this is long." There's another voice that says, "Oh, this is gonna take so long. When are you gonna finish?"
Wow.
Another voice that tells me, "Oh, people think like you can really write. They don't know that this is just a fluke."
Girl.
I have another voice. Yeah, just so many voices.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when you message me,
Yeah.
I get a voice. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I get a voice that is like, "Oh, she's messaging you about the script. Are you gonna tell her that your visitation how busy you are? She's gonna message you about the script." But then
I'll message her about that script, though.
She be
That script is already
she
mine.
be messaging. But the good thing about you is that you never. Sometimes you just message and you just be like, "Oh, I just want to, check in," or you just, send a really nice message. I'm like, she's so nice. She's so nice. So I never feel that pressure or feel like, oh, it's time to ghost this person or whatever.
I feel like that's the creative in me too. You can't rush a creative. I'm gonna oust my manager for a second. I'm just like, yeah, she gave a time schedule. I said, don't bother. Leave her. She's a creative. Creatives don't like to be
sorry,
rushed.
hon.
No, it's Didi. Didi.
I wasn't trying to call her out.
I didn't want
Didi,
that.
I'm sorry.
Didi.
I'm so because I've worked in like structures and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm so good at giving you a schedule.
If
you want a schedule, I'll give you a schedule. But then they're creative in me, okay? That is just like, I have all this stuff. And it's really hard,
But it'll get done.
It'll get done.
Yeah.
It'll get done. So I'm happy that we despite all the stuff, we're moving forward.
Yes.
We've had, our like creative meetings and stuff, and we're in a good place.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That schedule's gonna have to change. But
Didi, please understand. That's how we do.
Is that why she's not here today?
No, she's working.
Okay.
Homegirl is busy.
But yeah, so what voices like have you had to navigate and continue to navigate? Because I don't think
Are you good enough? Are you good enough? Are you like, yeah, I like I said earlier, I had to, just get past the notion of, is my creative good enough? And that is not what a creative just creates and creates from the heart and creates the best way that they can, not in comparison to that creative. No, this is your creativity, and how you interpret it. And I feel like I go through that. I'm not gonna lie and say that, oh yeah, that was me before. It's me today. I'm always in my head with, oh, did I do well with that? But then I try to remember that this is a gift, and you work with and you live with the gifts that is given to you the best way that you can, with no judgment. Just do it. It's in your blood, and I feel like that is a voice that is always constantly in my mind, but I have to work through it as well to not allow the voices get in what I am creating and what I believe is the best version of me.
Right. Right.
So.
And I think it's also about agreement, right? Yeah. So you can hear a voice, but do you agree with that voice?
That's right.
Right? Like what kind of, what are you saying back to that voice when it says to you, oh, you're not good enough? Yeah. Are you just like, yeah? Or are you like, get thee behind me? You know what I mean? How are you navigating? How are you rejecting that
by
voice?
Doing it.
By doing
That's
it.
it.
By doing
That's
it.
it.
Somebody once told me the antidote to anxiety is action.
Yes.
Right.
And what is acting? Action in motion. So,
But I want to talk, this is not on my pod, but like,
you see? It always happens.
Creators. No, it's about the process.
Yeah.
Right? I want to talk about like, because I actually, I don't think anyone knows this, but like I auditioned for Skinny Girl in Transit.
What?
Yeah. So I
Whoa,
remember...
exclusive.
I wanted to be an actor.
Oh, hello.
And so yeah, a part of me, like deep down, has always admired acting as a craft, right? And so I saw this audition and it was like, oh, plus size girl, you know, her family want her to lose weight, but she's, you know, confident and she's that. And I was like, oh my God, are they describing me? And so I auditioned. This was like in 2015 or 2016, like a long time ago. And I go for the audition and it was like the worst experience of my life.
Are you serious?
Yeah. They were, first of all, I was like, who are all these people in the room? In my head, it was just going to be me and like 3 people. And there was all this crew and there were all these people. And the producer of the show, who ended up being the lead actress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she was there, like producing, but they just, I guess, couldn't find anyone. And, you know, she was the best person for the role. But yeah, she was there in the room. And then she's like, you know, just be yourself, you know, and just read the line. So I'm like, just be myself.
What do you mean?
And I felt so incredibly awkward.
Sure.
Incredibly awkward. And I couldn't shed Nicole, right? And like become Tiwa. It was just impossible. Until this day, I probably cannot do that because I am so self-aware. Like I know in this moment how I look. And how my leg is and my hair.
And that's not an act you have to let
go. Yeah, I want to understand that surrender process and how you actually let go, because I cannot let go. I cannot come into a room and not be aware of myself.
You guys, you see this scripture I write in? You will enter it. You're going to enter this movie, Nicole. It's exclusive. She's gonna be in
Which
the movie.
Pick
one.
Who would I be? There's nobody I could be.
Okay.
Better than us.
Oh no! Don't you worry. Oh no! What? It's really okay. Loading. Yes, Nicole, the writer. Nicole, the director. So excited about that.
Thank you.
And Nicole, the actor.
Period.
Yes, honey. You can do anything you put your mind to. Yeah.
But what is that process? Tell me. Like, what is it actually like? Like, becoming another character. How do you get into that?
Oh, first you read your script. That's the number one first thing. Can I even do this character? Can I bring this character to life? Can I bring justice to the life of this character that I'm bringing? For me, it's you know, reading the script.
But what if the script isn't giving? Like, Viola Davis is always shitting on the scripts. I don't know what kind of writer she's. I don't know what kind of struggle. But she's always like, the writing gave me nothing. I had to create the character from scratch. But it's possible. But yeah, because I'm sure you're not getting high quality scripts.
And that's why I said my spirit has to align with it. So let me not lie. Yes, I get the synopsis first.
Okay.
Once I get the synopsis, if I'm connected in a way, then I read the script, because that's a lot of time to be reading scripts.
Really hard to read scripts.
If I now if they pass the phase of synopsis and like, this is tickling my fancy. So then, you know, that's when I get into the script. And then if I'm now doing the character Bible for the character, giving the character its favorite color, where they grew up, all of that backstory. And then, you know, getting to work. That's really my process.
How do you leave so somebody in the industry, I won't say who, but he was telling me about a scene that he filmed. He said Jade is his favorite director.
Sure.
And I said, why? And he said, one day he came to set and he wasn't feeling 100.
Yeah.
And the scene required him to take his shirt off. But he wasn't feeling himself like that.
I know who it is.
Well, I'll confirm later. And so he was wearing his singlet, right? And she was like, oh, no, take that off, you know, and went about her business. And then when they're about to start, he's still wearing his singlet. So she's like, yo,
take your shirt
off. The scene doesn't require this. And he's like, can I speak to you for a minute? Can I see you real quick? And then she's like, what's up? And he's like, I'm not really feeling myself right now. You know, I've added some weight, you know, and she's like, let's say the character's name is Body. And then she's like, your body? Your body?
That's it.
Body doesn't care about his body. His body. And then he was like, oh my God. So let's say this guy's name is John.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, I brought John to set.
Yep.
I didn't bring Body. And I really resonated with that because, like I said, it's hard for me to, like, shed myself.
Yeah, you have to.
And so how do you leave Osas and embody that character?
I think about, I don't know if this is superficial, but I think about me sitting and watching that project or watching that film. Would I be proud to see that I'm seeing the character and not seeing Osas and her idea of what this character should be? No, I want to be able to connect with what that character is. So I think back to, or I think about how I would feel in the future. Would I be proud of this work? Shed whatever you have going on. That's not bringing justice to this character.
Right.
So that's usually where my mindset goes, how I would feel. I don't like doing things and then regretting them.
I see.
That's how I move. Like, do things with your heart. If you're going to agree to it, put everything into it. Because again, it's a gift. You don't want to phone it in.
Right.
Put all your energy into it. And so, just, you know, bringing the character to life is part of it. You have to let go of you.
Yeah.
And do the character.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So, your background, you grew up as an American.
Sure.
But did you grow up in a Nigerian household in America?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did. So a lot of people, I like to say that I grew up in a Benin household in New York.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's totally different in terms of, like, just your life experience.
Yep.
So coming back to Nigeria wasn't necessarily a huge culture shock. Or was it?
It was not.
It was not, because you grew up like that in a way.
And yes, I mean, in terms of environmental things like generator, I didn't go through that growing up. You know, water, all of that stuff. I grew up with it. But I think that hustle mentality again. I'm sure we both know people who grew up in the States or grew up abroad in the UK or whatnot and could not survive.
Right. Yes.
Living in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how?
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's just another part of the world, you know? I feel like I'm a world citizen and I coined myself as a gypsy. I like to travel and experience
a fabulous
cultures.
gypsy. She's not in one of those trucks, and she's not sleeping on.
No.
If
Luxury
you're a
is in
gypsy,
there.
I want to be a gypsy.
But in terms of just, you know, going with the flow and, you know, yes, it was weird to, like, see my light cut off. I didn't grow up like that, but it's not like I was going to die.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I just go with the flow with things and, you know, just live.
Right. So how was that? Like, you're going with the flow. So I feel like back to, like, being a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Nigeria was your wilderness in that, like, and we can have multiple wildernesses, but definitely a wilderness, uncharted territory.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So how did you then find your way in this industry that is full of packs, I would say. I would say Nollywood is a pack, right? And so how did you, like, I've not found my way there. Like, I'm not in a pack.
I don't think I'm in a pack either.
No, you're not. So how have you been able to navigate when you're going into an industry that is very much pack, kiss the ring in a way?
Yeah.
Or was that not your experience?
No, because you see the packs. It would be silly to say that we don't see them. We see them. But for me, I think also growing up, I just never was cliquey, or I was always, you know, on my own journey and on my own path. So it wasn't anything new. Yeah. I think
She's thinking.
Yeah, I'm just like, how do I just do me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I just do me. I have too many dreams that I have that I can't let things like that get to me. In terms of just coming to Nigeria and being in this wilderness, I think I didn't have too much pressure on myself. Or I didn't put too much pressure on myself because it was the initial plan of being here for just 6 months. So she's just going to be here for 6 months. She's going to work on a show, and then she's going to move back to the States. But that 6 months turned to 1 year, turned to 5 years, turned to now 13 years.
Wow.
And I feel like the person that Osas is just a cool individual, but I'm also a introvert in a way in terms of people. I'm a very outgoing and, people person, I feel. But I'm also an introvert in a way because I don't like putting myself out there personally like that.
Right.
Never will.
What do you mean by personally?
Like my personal business.
Yeah.
Like my relationships, my child, like, my family. Like that I have to protect with my whole being. Yeah.
So would you say there's a representative of sorts? So how do you what's the difference between public Osas and private Osas?
I wouldn't say there was much of a difference. I mean, my daughter just said, "Mommy, you're so silly today." Like, I'm still like, jovial in that manner. But I guess it's not everybody signed up for this. And that's what I'm always mindful of. Not everybody signed up for what I do.
Right.
So I don't want to put them out there for ridicule, for judgment, for any of that. So I protect that personal space because I feel it's it's respect for my people. If you want to talk about me, it's not today. People have been talking. But then people also, I feel, and I think I've been very blessed in terms of not having a lot of craziness in terms of my personal being out there.
I think it's so important as creatives to do the different things, right? To do the things that we're not so comfortable with, or we think that we like, or we're good at, and then realize that, okay, I'm never going to do that
This
again.
is not.
So I have a story.
Please give it to us. We're waiting.
If I bring to you,
I'll give you, don't worry.
So, do you know Shana Pella?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, he's this entrepreneur club guy / politician, I think. But back in the day, I used to work on Quillups. There's this club called Quillups. I used to work on their like social media / like party content.
Yeah.
So they have these like revamp parties every year after Ramadan where they do this big splashy thing.
And fireworks. Let's not forget the fireworks. Yep.
And so we would create the video content that would show like they would say stuff like luxury,
Relax.
for the culture.
Okay.
She said, "Well,
No, read it like that.
you said what?" Okay. So all these things, very gaudy, gold pouring on things, diamonds.
Oh,
and
nice.
just,
I like it.
very off-brand for me, right? But that's what the client wants, right? And I come from an advertising background, so it's not necessarily that I have to believe in the product to sell it.
Yes.
So I start doing these videos for Quillups every year. They come back like clockwork. Hey, we're doing another party. Can you do the content? And I'm like, and then somehow it morphed into decoration and actually like sourcing things for these gold parties because I would do these extravagant mood boards. And then they would look at the mood boards and be like, can you source? And so as an Igbo girl, what do you need? A gold statue head? I got you. So,
My God.
So I started doing these parties, and then it was like Shana's birthday.
Yeah.
And they asked me to, I think even one day, like, he invited me, like, I came to pick up something, and they were like, oh, the boss is going to see you upstairs. And so there's a whole back room, and he has this office in the back room, and it really does look like those, those films in the Rattlesnake, that guy's office. Like, it looks like an antagonist, you know, it
Yeah.
doesn't look like the back room of the back
Right.
room. It has this big mahogany desk, and you know, it's
We're not laughing.
okay. Now I'm getting shady, but stop. He's actually a really nice man. He's actually
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, he was like trying to empower me, and he's like, you know, so I think, you know, I'm having a birthday at Elisha. You know, you did a great job with this gold party. It's all white. You know, I want you to, I want you to do it. So I was like, okay, cool. So I remember going to Elisha that day with all the stuff for the white party, and like it was so specific, but I just remember like where the quad bike like dropped us.
Yes.
It was a long walk to the beach house, right?
Don't tell me you
And
had to trek.
I had to trek, and not only did I have to trek, but I was wearing these like plastic slippers that got hot in the sand. So my leg was just like,
On fire.
walking like, and you can't, if you remove the slippers, the sand is hot.
sand is
If
hot.
you remove, I was just thinking of my life, like, how did I get here? How did I get here? Right? And like, I was just vowing to myself, never again. So I set up for the birthday, and I was just throughout, I was just like, I'm actually very good at interior decor, right? I'm very good.
No, yes, I know. I know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I should be an interior designer.
Yeah. Very
That
true.
doesn't mean I should be an event decorator, right? I don't like logistics. I don't like people blowing up my phone. I don't like people looking at what I've done and be like, I don't really like that. I was like, what do you mean? Like,
This is
like
great.
what I give you is what you take.
That's
you know?
it.
So obviously that's not a good character to have as an event decorator.
You have to make the customer happy.
Yeah. But like I think just as creatives we do jobs that
Oh, girl. I'm just sitting here thinking about the odd jobs, because ever since I was young, I've always known that I wanted to be a singer, a dancer, an actor, you know. But, you know, on the journey, you're not going to be making a whole lot of money. So you do things, no crazy things, no crazy things, at least for me, to, you know, make sure to make a living. And
crazy things like what?
I wouldn't say crazy.
Yeah,
it's
not
just
wild.
not wild or crazy, but I'm just like thinking about my journey and thinking about, you know, just doing, walk up past roles is part of the journey. But I have always known that I hated the cold. Like, people paying to go someplace that is cold is mind-boggling to me. Like, I would not, I don't want, that's not my first destination in terms of travel, to go and pay to be in a place that's cold and I'm uncomfortable. Like, I want to go someplace tropical and warm. And I think that's also another reason why it was easy for me to move to Nigeria, just because of the weather. But, you know, I would be on set, and I would, you know, be on set for hours on end. There was one particular waka pass or background role that I played, and it was on a Spider-Man movie. And I remember it was snowing outside. So I purposely, along with the other background actors, stood outside in the snow. Purposely.
For what? Why?
Because I want to be an actor? Hell, I mean, you do. I mean, if you're in love with your craft, you know, do anything to serve it. But I'm just like, I'm not where I want. I had a breakdown. I'm like, I'm not where I want to be. This is not the acting that I want to do. I'm like, I have so much more that I can give, and being outside, getting frostbite, standing in the freaking cold, and I'm seeing the A-list actors acting there, and I'm standing here as a background actor in the snow, in the cold, on purpose. That was at that point I knew that was Osas. You need to work harder. If their position, being in front of the camera and being one of the leads or supporting actors, is where you want to be, you have a lot more work to do.
But that's something inside of you, right? Because a lot of people would see that. A lot of people are in that place right now.
Yeah.
They're on social media. They're looking at people that are living their dream lives, and they want to get there. But like, not a lot of people, and I think I go back to the word audacity again, because it's hard. And how do people move from that place of comparison or feeling stuck to actually like still moving despite the picture not being what they have in their mind.
I think you can't think too much into, at least for me, I can't think too much into it. I just have to do. What's the next step? Okay, the next step is going on another Waka Pass roll.
Right.
And you just keep going. And you have to have that faith. I think it starts with, you have to have that faith, knowing that it's going to happen. It may not happen on you. It's definitely not going to happen on your time. But if you have that faith that it's going to happen, I think that's actually number one. That's the motivating factor. Because I sit back and I think, how did you stand in the cold and do that? How did you now do this odd job where from 12 midnight to 6 a.m. you're making calls to people in India or somewhere? I did telecommunications from like 12 midnight to like 6 so that I had time to audition for things. I did other odd jobs like transcribing.
Wow.
What? I transcribed at VH1 and MTV, you know, and I wanted to be an actor. And I'm like, okay, I have to do this in order to just at least be in the circle. But I hated it. And for myself to get that work done, I would have to but I would have to, you know, go in at 12 midnight and know that I have to dedicate all night transcribing these videos to be able to get it on time.
Right.
So that I have time during the day to be able to audition if I need to.
Right.
You know, like those odd jobs really tested me if I really wanted to do this. Because I could have easily gone into, you know, being a nurse. I could have easily gone into doing a 9 to 5, which I detest. I always knew from when I was a young girl, because I saw my dad owning his own business. He was in taxes. And I did taxes as well, you know. During tax season in the States, I would do people's taxes. I raised enough money to buy myself a car. It's a funny story.
Tell it, girl. We want it.
Hell, have I ever said this one publicly? Okay, anyway, he's probably going to see it. But yeah, so at this point, I'm a working actor. I'm also doing taxes during tax season, doing people's taxes, and I'm able. This calculators, and yeah. So I did people's taxes, and I just remember saving enough to buy myself my first car, which I did, and then I had a boyfriend at the time that lived in a boyfriend that lived out of town.
Okay.
Was not in the same state as me, but lived out of town. And I surprised him with, you know, I have a new car. We'll be able to see each other more often. About a 3-4 hour drive. So it wasn't a small thing. And I was the one that was surprised because I got there and a whole nother girl was there, pregnant.
Whoa.
Baby. And, you know, I was that.
We always have these conversations about men. This podcast is not about men.
It's not about men, but, you know, it shapes me as I feel like a creative.
Yeah.
I feel like I always look at my experiences as, okay, this is an experience. Because as an actor, you need to live. Mm-hmm. You need to live, you need to have experiences, which is why I love traveling. Mm-hmm. It helps in terms of me being a creative, enjoying life, experiencing. That can now help and bring value into the work that you do. Mm-hmm. How are you going to bring a character to life if you yourself haven't lived? Mm-hmm. So that's what I always do in terms of, okay, it's about that time. Osas needs to travel somewhere. I mean, we all see it on social media, but you know, there's a reason why I really am very, very particular about traveling and experiencing. But yeah, the experience of, you know, saving up money to buy myself a car and making this drive to Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah, you know I'm talking about shit. Baltimore, Maryland from New York City, driving by myself. And, I have another story as well, but yeah. Driving there by myself and knocking on the door and, hi, I'm here, surprise. And I literally am standing at the door for like 5 minutes waiting for him to open the door. And you know, 5 minutes is not a short amount of time. I'm like,
waiting at the door.
Just hold on. Just hold on. And so I'm holding on and I'm waiting for him to open the door. Finally opens the door. I go in. I'm like, what took you so long? Surprise. Aren't you happy to see me? Why didn't you say you were coming? That was the response. I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought you would be happy that I'm, driving to come and see you. I just bought this car. Okay, trying to go to his room and the door's locked. And I'm like, why is your door locked? What's going on? And he's like, I have a friend in there. He's probably gonna laugh at this, but yeah, I have a friend in there. So tell him to come out. Like, what's he doing in this? I must assume. What do you mean? He say, Gail cannot be inside when I'm your girlfriend. Yeah. No. So tell him to come out. Like, it's not a girl. It's not a guy. It's a girl. Why do you have a girl in your room? I need you to sit down. Just sit down. We need to talk. Oh no, that's when the loud Osas came out. Oh no, tell her to come out. Da, 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 da. So homeboy called the security on me. The complex security on. Oh, I'm delving into it. Okay, but called the security on me and had the complex security come and escort me out. I drove out and I drove out of the complex and I drove right back in. Wow. And I'm like, how dare you? How dare you?
Wait, let me get that straight. You drove out. The complex security told you to leave.
He called the complex security to the apartment.
And then
he escorted me out.
And then you drove back in.
I drove out and I drove back in. And I'm like, you did mad? I didn't say at that time, because I was, fully American at that point. But I'm like, how could you do this to me? We've been together for 3-4 years. How could you do that to me? How could you call the police on me? And he's like, yeah, I don't want you to go to jail for fighting a pregnant woman. And I'm like, my whole world just collapsed because, besides my acting, I still am a lover girl. And I put my all into my, my relationships or whatnot. And so to be betrayed like that, it was devastating. And this was like young love for me. Right. Like this was somebody that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, but he had other plans, or God has other plans, So I just remembered.
What was the drive back?
That's exactly where I'm going.
Okay.
Oh, the drive back, my dear, it was a movie. So it was raining, thundering, pouring.
God is an artist.
He's also a comedian, though. Yeah, so I'm driving back. So he didn't allow me to, because I was so devastated. My eyes were shut red from crying so much. Bloodshot red, swollen from just being devastated. So he put me in a hotel that night. And just pretty much apologized. And I was just devastated. Like, nobody could tell me nothing. I introduced you to my parents. Like, what? So I was just devastated. And the next morning, I now head back to New York. And it's pouring rain, like melodramatic to the core. It's pouring rain. On the radio, they're talking about, because I'm going through Virginia, and I don't remember which school it was, but there was also a school shooting as I'm driving back, and I'm going through Maryland and Virginia, and I'm heading back to New York. So that's happening. There's rain. I could barely see. It was devastating for me. So the drive back was, we thank God for traveling mercies because it took a lot. I think I had to stop a few times just to gather myself because I drove back by myself. And it was heartbreak.
Did that heartbreak, because in my experience, because I've been heartbroken, girl. Mm-hmm. We've been heartbroken. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But in my experience, the heartbreak is like... you're broken open. There's an opening, right? So it's never heartbreak shatter. It's heartbreak to open. Something is birthed from heartbreak, and something always like beautiful that makes you pivot or makes you see something differently. Yeah. So was it that a turning point from tax and everything and moving? Like, was that a pivotal?
I look at it as a blessing because the talk that we constantly had was, okay, you're going to move to Baltimore and then we're going to live our lives. And I always knew that that wasn't going to be it for me. I know that my dreams are global. My dreams are big. So moving to Baltimore is not going to help that. I need to even be in New York around where the creatives are in order for this to happen. So I saw it eventually as a blessing. Like, okay, you were going to go into this rabbit hole of, you know, this normalcy, because a creative life is not normal. So you were going to go into this life of normalcy, and is that really what you want? And that's not what I wanted. So it was devastating, but it was a blessing as well.
And what was the decision? How did you move from knowing that's not what you wanted to then going to what you want? What was that?
It wasn't long. It wasn't long at all, because this dream, this passion has been in me since, I would say, birth. So this was going to deviate you from that dream. So yes, a few days of crying and being sad because you're heartbroken from a love, but your passion will peek its head back out and say, okay, let's look at this in hindsight. With
so
this
your
approach.
passion has to be more than your paid.
Hello.
Right.
Hello. Passionate enough. There's another story. I got this role. I booked this role, and it was in, I think it was Virginia. So I had to drive from New York. And this is the same car. The same car has helped me drive. Took me through. Road trip by myself. I'm like, I'm going to do this. And I would do anything from my craft, I feel. I was very, very focused. Tunnel vision. Okay, this is what I need to do in order to, you know, do this acting thing and do it on a grand scale to make my parents proud and, you know, to become a superstar. So I drive myself. Oh, poor small Osas. I drive myself from New York to Virginia by myself. And I think that's like an 8-9 hour drive by myself to finally get on set, to be told that, oh, we're not going to shoot your scenes, or not doing this film anymore. I say, I think I laughed. I think I laughed because I'm like, wait, what? Do you know what I've gone through just to get here, to do this part, to act this role? And then you say, oh yeah, we're not gonna. So initially it was, okay, we're not gonna continue filming for the night. And then eventually it was, okay, they're not doing the film anymore.
Wow.
And I'm like, and those are the disappointments that test you if this is something that you really want to do. And every time it's always been, no, we have so much more to do. Things are going to happen. And I think, you know, going through those small experiences made me realize that, yeah, this is something that I want to do. If I've gone through them and I've not been broken, then you can keep going.
So how did Nigeria happen? I know you said 6 months.
Yeah.
But how did you stay? What made you stay? What was that day that you said, I'm staying?
It wasn't a crazy decision because I'm doing what I love. I'm not struggling the way I was struggling in New York. I wasn't doing Waka Pass roles. Like, it's hard to do Waka. So I give my heart and, you know, to you know, people starting out and doing all these roles and, you know, auditioning and not getting the part. It takes a toll on your being. It takes a lot, but that faith is what pushes you through. That knowing, like, I know. I don't know when it's gonna happen. Because nothing has happened yet. God has blessed me with things, but my dreams are big and huge. And, you know, I have so much more work to do to get there. And I've not gotten anywhere yet. So we're still working. We're still pushing. We're still, you know, in turn, motivating and inspiring as well, because I do see the messages from people and they say, oh, you're a success, you've done this, you've done that, and I feel like it's just me moving in my purpose.
That's it.
And that is it.
So speaking of questions, I asked people on social media just to ask questions in general.
What?
Yeah. About the creative journey.
Okay.
I didn't say anything else.
What?
But since I started filming, I've just been filtering the questions and picking some that are relevant. And a lot of them are similar. And I love that because it's like everybody thinks their problems are unique to them. But then when you hear it, you're like, actually, we're all going through the same shit. I used to have a friend who's random, but he worked at a bank, which he ended up quitting very dramatically. But at the time, whenever you see him, like, how was work? He was like, same shit, different toys.
I like that. But it's just, shout out to who?
Dante.
Dante, we shout out to you. But I think it's just having the avenue to talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's silly. It's so silly, but it's like it's a meme that I saw that I thought that I was the only one. I thought I was crazy. You know, this experience where it's super cold in your room. And I think they call it spurts of happiness or something, where you get under your covers and you're just like, I go through it, and I thought I was the only one in the world who did that until I saw on social media, they're like,
it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Right.
Just as simple as that. Just, you know, having the opportunity to just say it out.
Right.
I just thought that was funny.
That is funny, right?
Spurts of happiness. I think they call, what do they call it? Spurts of happiness? Or, I don't know.
It's not so cold here, is it?
No, but you know, when you finally get into that comfort.
I definitely feel that.
And you're just like,
yeah, I don't know if I scream like that.
I scream. And I'm like happy. I'm in bed and I'm in my comfortable spot. Yeah.
But I think you're very in tune with your joy.
I have to be.
Yeah, you're very in tune with it. Sometimes it takes other people a minute to get to a place of, you know. That's how
I function. I think that's why. So I've spoken to my friends about this, and they would like, we would talk about something and I wouldn't remember. I honestly wouldn't remember about bad things that have happened or obstacles or something. And, you know, just talking to my girls and realizing that Osas has a black box in her mind that she stores all that stuff. And I cannot function with it out the box. So it's there. It's not that I don't go through shit. I go through stuff, you know? But in order for Osas, I cannot function. That, like, it's crazy. I have to, I can't function. And then at the end of the day, I realized that I'm also not living for myself. I also have a child. So I need to be at my 100, which is why I also love going to the spa as well. That's also my happy place.
She didn't invite me to the spa.
Yet.
Girl, I love a spa.
Woo, baby. Oh, Lord, I love the spa. I was just there yesterday.
Those Korean spas, you know, there's like houses that you just go there and you're like lying down in like Himalayan salt. Like, what? That's my jam. Okay, so let's get to the question.
Okay.
So this is what she said. She says, I'm actually not sure. I have an idea. I have a dream, but every time I try to start, fear shows up. What if I'm not good enough? What if I fail? I tell myself I'll start when I'm ready. But what if that day never comes?
You never. Just do it. And I know it's as simple as just saying it, but it's not simple in the doing. But you have to just do it. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to look back and regret. That regret is big for me. I don't want to regret that, I didn't even at least try. Don't tell me that you didn't do it because you were scared. Do it that it did not work out, but you tried. And that's enough.
I saw this video on social media of this like 80-something-year-old lady.
I think I saw it.
Yeah. She said, I wish I did not get to the end of my life, to the curtain call of my life, and realize that it was not a rehearsal. I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
You're living it, you know? Yesterday, my dad asked me, he was like, how far with your novel? Dad, I'm filming a podcast. I'm doing all these events. And he said, just try.
Dang. Yep.
And the regret part of me, because I've read that regret is a light. So a regret, when you feel regret, that is a light to you should do that thing.
Yep.
Right? So anytime I feel a sense of regret, I look back as like, oh, let that lead me in the right direction. Let that redirect me.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's this regret, other voice, active regret and fear mixed together that says, what if your dad dies before you finish your book? And even saying it out loud is just like, oh.
Yeah.
But that's a big thing that I carry, because who else is going to call me saying, just write one page? But he's invested in my life, right?
Yep.
So as he said that, like, I was so tired yesterday. I was so just trying to prepare for the episodes and just trying to do other stuff. But I wrote a page because I told him I would write a page.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important just to not put things off, because we act like we know the time that we have left. And you don't.
You don't.
And I think what you said about you're creating not for anything but to create is so important.
Yep.
So we should always bear that in mind.
Yeah.
With the things that are calling us literally every single day.
How is that for you in terms of your creative is it's multi. It's writing, it's directing, it's acting.
It's not acting, girl.
She's gonna act. We're gonna make sure that she gets in there. But I mean, you're just multifaceted. Just even hosting, not this podcast, but me and Erica saw you hosting or moderating, and we were like, wow, she's so talented. Yeah, and it was really beautiful to see. But just being multifaceted, how does that layer dictate or is there an importance in terms of your creative?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm a writer first.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, when I directed, I was
Which I was so proud of. Oh my God.
So I've actually always wanted to direct, especially when I found out that I didn't have a voice the way that I knew that I needed to.
And I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So when I realized that I couldn't say, no, Osas, it won't be Osas.
Although it worked out for the better.
It worked out, thank God.
Yeah, man.
But when I realized that as a writer, you just have all these ideas, but if you have no skin in the game, if you have then I realized, okay, I need to produce.
Yeah.
And then I've always wanted to direct. I look at Ava DuVernay, or Issa, all these people that, creatively I look up to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, they're doing it. But I kind of felt like I didn't have the license to, or I didn't go to school for it, or I didn't have that. There was something that was blocking me.
You didn't give yourself the license.
Yeah.
That's it.
So the moment I decided, okay, no, I have this idea, and there's nobody else. It was actually that explanation about what Jade did in that moment. That I realized what a director, when people say, oh, that's an actor's director.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I realized it was emotional intelligence.
Yep.
It wasn't necessarily understanding the camera shot or the angle. It was making your actors feel confident enough to deliver.
Yeah.
And I felt like, oh, that's a skill I would definitely have. And I have good rapport with people in general. I always tell people, if you have a problem with me, you have a problem.
I love that.
It's so unproblematic.
Yeah, I love it.
If you fight with me, you are fighting with yourself.
You're fighting with yourself. What?
Literally.
Please don't come for my boo.
That's an element of ego, but I just find myself so chill. When I'm having an issue, I'm like,
what's your problem?
maybe you need to go to the spa. But
don't worry, I'll take you there. I love it.
So back to directing, and as I was in that role on set, I realized, oh my God, you're a director.
How did that feel?
It just felt right. It just felt like I wasn't acting or impersonating or being a representative. It just felt right. And if I had let the imposter syndrome or the license waiting for permission to stop me, I would never have experienced that. And I think ultimately that's what the enemy does, right?
Yeah.
He does not want anyone to fulfill their potential, right? And as creatives, we have to realize that actually we are multi-hyphenate.
That's
we
it.
have so much that we can offer the world. And so when you are in these spaces, you just have to pay attention to what feels right.
That's it.
And then you, as you are it, you become it. As you do it, you become it.
That's it.
And that's it.
Oh, I remember when I saw it, I'm like, wait, huh? She's directing it? Because this story, let's just say this story, I cannot wait for you guys to see it. I cannot see it, but I cannot wait to see it. But I read the script and I'm just like, Nicole is talent. Not talent, talent. And she has grace, because to be able to put because I read scripts and you already know that, you know, I'm not that crazy about too many scripts. But, you know, just you as a writer is just amazing. But then to be able to see you delve into another creative role of directing, I'm just so excited to see that and see how it, and I just know that it was remarkable. I know. When is it coming out? Exclusive.
Actually, literally in May. And off camera, I'll tell you where we're screening.
Oh my gosh!
I know. So
Yes!
this month.
Yes!
The action, the time between idea to execution was so short.
It's just doing it.
Just do it. Just do it.
That's
Don't
what I'm
waste
talking about.
time. Don't overthink it. Don't over talk about it. Don't ask somebody if you think you should do it or what you think. Blah, 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 blah. Just do it.
Just do it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Oh my
Thank you so much
gosh.
for coming on this podcast. I know that you don't like doing
I don't
podcasts. And, you know, I know why.
Yeah.
I can see why, right? But you add so much value. And I think that when you talk about your journey,
Yeah.
you illuminate somebody else's. And I definitely think, like, as creatives, as custodians of our craft,
Yeah.
we have a duty to do that. So thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be open than usual. And thank you for this space. I feel creatives have the opportunity to be comfortable and be open and be vulnerable, which I felt. I'm proud of myself for not crying, you know? Almost it got there twice. I'm like, oh no, Sas, please try, not this podcast too. Come on, be crying. But no, yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy. And I hope that, you know, everybody learns from, you know, just our conversation, is inspired, motivated to just keep going, and you know, just do it. Let's, like, at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, at least you tried. And that's all that matters. Yeah. Thank you, baby. Thank you, boo. Oh, I love you, boo.
Love you. Oh, thank you so much. So I don't know if you guys ever heard this story about this guy and this girl who met, and they had this instant connection, and they just knew in that moment that they had met their people. And the guy was catching a train, so he asked the girl for her number really quickly. And she like mistakenly put the wrong number, and so he couldn't reach her. And then randomly he finds her on YouTube, and then he's like, oh my God, this is the girl who, you know, I met on the train. And so he reaches out to her and he comments on her YouTube, and, you know, they find a way, and then they connect with each other. And then all of a sudden, everything's going well. They meet each other again. And then she realizes something. He never subscribed to her channel. And in that moment, she just felt like, you don't really support me. And she couldn't be with him. Do you know what the lesson in that story is? Subscribe. I know that was a very dry story. But I feel like you're laughing. So if you are, don't lose the chance to meet your soulmate. Subscribe.